margins. You're guiding for 23-24%. There's a possibility of an upside of 24%. But tell us about, if the US does well, $220, $225 million, is there an upside to that 24%?
Yes.
By when?
So let's start by saying, if we think, let's assume an FDA inspection happens earlier than we think it would, and it clears our Abraxane product, of course margins would go up.
To how much?
Well,
Maybe even a range.
So look, let's go. Abraxane is we'd like to believe at a generic pricing of 500 million opportunity. If there's no generic, and it's a high margin product, right? I don't think getting 50 or 100 million is going to be tough, right? And that's largely going to be all accretive profit. So if you have a 50, 100 million product at our base for a margin improvement, it can certainly result in a 1% margin uptick, right? But it's all conditional.
I was reading an article in Time magazine about Semaglutide and how Ozempic has become a household name now. And you have plans of Semaglutide in India. By when are we expecting to see maybe the oral, the injectable version?
So I know there's a patent landscape to it, so I can't talk to it. But I would think that Sema would probably be introduced in India as among the first set of peptides to go out globally, which means I think a 25, 26 time frame for Sema is a possibility.
And that's in India?
That's in India.
Okay, and there won't be any generic competition by then?
I think maybe the 26 period is with generics.
Okay, and what is the opportunity? Because there are a lot of companies which are contemplating this now.
So it's I can take you back to a market visit I had in about 4 months back in Delhi. And I'd gone to meet doctors in the cardiovascular diabetes space. And almost everyone spoke about it, right? So that's the opportunity. I think as Indians, all of us are predisposed to diabetes, predisposed to being slightly on the heavier side, right? I think these medicines would help tremendously.
Okay, so maybe by 25, 26 is when we can probably expect it.
Yes.
Just leave us with a larger vision for Cipla now, because when we started the interview, we spoke about how there is a Cipla for India, there's a Cipla for the US. Tell us about what maybe the next 1 or 2 years would look like, based on the fact that there is no deal on the anvil when it comes to CapEx, acquisition, cash utilization and growth.
So look, CapEx for us, we never really stopped anything. We used to do about 1,200 odd crores. Now that's gone up to 1,500, 1,600 crores. So we're investing behind.
So the possibility of a deal didn't stop you?
No, that didn't stop us in CapEx in any case. So that's going on. Then acquisitions are obviously on the table because India is our largest market. We want to grow it. So, we'll do whatever best we can for making sure that continues to grow. What we are vested in, Ekta, is developing capabilities for the future, right? Which would mean innovation. To a large extent, we've made some bets on mRNA. We've made some bets on distribution in India. We've made some bets on biosimilars. Now it's really about making sure that these become very critically sized, right? So hypothetically, if I was to look at, let's say, Cipla 5 years, 10 years down, I think the type of structure that could evolve is probably a J&J type of structure, where you have multiple businesses, right? We've got our consumer business, which is doing really well, solid wellness business. So that's a wellness business. We have a biosimilars JV, which is scaling. We've got a Stempeutics investment, a stem cell investment, mRNA. So it will be a confederation of several businesses, all working with the same purpose of caring for life.
Okay, all right. On that note, we're going to end with a quick rapid fire. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and whatever comes first to you is what you have to answer. I won't ask you on the deal.
There's no hamper. There's no hamper.
This is not coffee with Karan.
Perfect. Fine.
All right. The first one, growth or margins?
Growth. At this stage, growth.
Okay. US or India?
Both.
If you have to choose one?
No, can't. Both.
India, generics or branded?
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
Generics over branded?
No, both, because both are different parts of the market.
Okay. Cipla, R&D or generics?
R&D. I mean, if we can make an innovation framework for Cipla, that's really great.
Okay. Anything on the cards?
No, well, we've got our pipeline.
Okay. All right. US focus or the Swadeshi Robin Hood?
I would say multinational. Yeah, pass. Is there a way I can pass
No,
that
you
question?
can't. You have to choose one.
What was the first one? US focused.
US focused or a Swadeshi Robin Hood?
How do they compete?
It's just your perspective as a company or your image as a company.
I would just say India to the world.
Oh.
That's how I'd answer. Very tough question.
All right, Mr. Vohra, thank you very much for
Thanks a
taking the
lot.
time out and speaking with us.
Thank you, Ekta. Bye-bye.